intro. Just strum it.
Okay.
This is the Zach and Aakash show. Good morning, everyone. Welcome
Hello.
to the Zach and Aakash show, episode 17, where today the topic is to be announced. And by that, we mean we're talking about the negative effects of social media on society.
Yep, we on here talk a lot about social media and the positives of it, like how you can do marketing on it, how you can build your brand, how you can grow your audience. But today we want to take the flip side of it, talk about all the negatives.
Mm-hmm. We apologize for being late. We're still we're working on some management stuff, but yeah, we're also gonna be taking notes during this live stream. We're gonna test that out because we haven't done that before. Um, in my opinion, it's inefficient because we go back and we re-scrape everything to like go through it. So this might make the process a lot more efficient, and that's what you want to do in any business is continue to actually subtract rather than add. That's a Tim Ferriss quote right there.
Hey, question about taking notes. How are we gonna get the timestamps?
Oh shit!
Uh,
Oh fuck! I didn't think about you, but I have a timer that goes when I press record. So okay,
all right,
I'm at
I'm gonna leave.
120. I'm at 120 right now.
That's not gonna help me because I don't have a timer on anything.
Oh, fuck. Um, so the stream is at 1644. So you could do some math. If you okay, you know what? Actually,
No,
you
like
go
the
off of.
stream just says live to me.
Oh, fuck.
It doesn't
You
say
don't
the
have a
time
you don't have a stopwatch anywhere.
until it doesn't go live. Yeah.
You have a watch.
Oh, I do have a watch.
Yeah, just have like the watch. Like, is it a digital watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just start it. Um, like now.
Okay,
It's at two
that's fair.
minutes. Okay.
Hold up. Actually, let me just start a timer.
Well, we'll have a zero in for a sec. Yeah. Sorry, stream, but
All
it's
right.
okay.
What's the recording time right now?
All right. I'll tell you. We're gonna be at 2:30, and I'll tell you in like one sec. Ready now.
Okay.
There you go. All right. So we're at 2:30. Cool. So yeah, we're continuing to subtract things. I know we're supposed to do business updates at the end, but I just figured why not just do it now.
Yep.
It's a good warm up for the stream. So yeah, we're trying to scale things or try to I don't know, we're trying to figure out what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah. We'll go more in depth about things we've been thinking of towards the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, let's enjoy a nice coffee bean together.
Exactly.
Nice, good little boy right here. It's about to go into my mouth.
Delicious. So David said we should wear the same thing. Does that mean you and I should wear the same shirt? Or we should wear the same thing every day?
Did he have reasoning behind this?
I don't know. He just commented that. I didn't respond yet because I don't know.
On his stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you not see it?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I haven't been on Insta much yesterday.
Oh. Yeah, I was on it kind of heavy. I definitely need an information diet.
What is that?
That's the segue into the topic. But so there's too much information. You don't need to know all the things you need in the day. It actually will distract you. I guarantee you, if you tracked like what you did in a day and you put in like the times you went on social media and stuff like that, you'd be wasting a lot of time. So when people say, "Oh, I don't have that much time in the day" or whatever, I know some people that may be true, but for a lot of us, it's because we're using too much information. So part of that may be you might just be surfing the web and stuff like that, or scrolling on Instagram, or going on Tinder, or texting people, or watching the news all day. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really provide you too much important information, depending on what you're trying
Gotcha.
to do. Yeah. So by information
So
diet, you limit it. Tim Ferriss says you're allowed 1 hour of fiction before you go to bed if you want. You're allowed 1 hour of pleasure TV, so that can be Netflix at night. Um, and then in terms of the news, he actually says that just ask other people, just ask them what's going on in the day. And so if they like can't answer, then it's not important. Or if they can like give you an answer, then that's probably an important event because the important events are memorable events. So like everyone right now knows what's happening in the world. So I don't think anyone doesn't know what's going on unless you're living under a rock. But yeah, I kind of agree with that because watching the news was actually driving me a little crazy. There's way too much information that I didn't need. Like all I know is you just need to stay inside, wash your hands, whatever, buy enough food. That's literally all you need to know, and just sit and wait until we're back to normal. But like now,
gotcha.
the news nowadays is just debating all sorts of random stuff. That's like it really doesn't pertain to me at this point. Because all I can really think about is myself at this point.
What especially scared me with the news was in the beginning when Corona was starting off, the news was making a huge deal about it. And a lot of people, their first instinct was to not trust the media and think they were just doing it for marketing. Because that was my perspective. And a lot of people I know that was the same perspective they had. It's because the news has been doing this for so long where you just take things, blow it out of proportion, talk about random things and random facts that look like they kind of relate to the situation and make it worse, but not really. So our instinct is to not trust the media. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. They do tend to do that. They like to make things seem worse than they actually are. Even before we had our like little stock market, I don't want to say little stock market crash, but before we had the stock market crash, every time there was like a little dip, there is some headline that points to like the end of times or something like that. And so when they finally got it right, everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's the end of times!" And then, yeah, like they're
Hmm.
like I understand they're people. They gotta put food on the table, so they gotta make money, and getting money is getting eyeballs. So I understand that, but it's like, come on. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very attention-based economy right now. Everyone wants to grab your attention, so they're going to do anything they can to get your attention. And talking about that from a social media sense, they're all built to take your attention. Little likes, little notifications, little comments, all meant to trigger a little hit of dopamine in your head. So you keep coming back, you spend longer. And the really negative side of it is once you're on there for such a long time, you get yeah, like so much information, just so much stimulus in your brain because you see so many pretty colored pictures all in a row, and then there's a video on YouTube or whatever, and your brain just gets desensitized to the dopamine, and it needs more and more dopamine to get you to do something. And the power of dopamine is it gets you to do tasks that are good for you, right? If you brush your teeth, you get a little hit of dopamine. If you work out, you get a lot of dopamine because it's really good for you. But with all the stimulus around you all the time, it kind of takes away the need for you to do something real and something good to get the dopamine. It just offers it to you freely. And that's how it becomes an addiction because you want that dopamine.
yeah. Um, there's that, and then I actually wrote a paper about this in my English class, but a lot of it kind of creates a fake reality. Um, you see all these things like people in their Lamborghinis, or these women who have clearly had a lot of work done, or even some men who are on steroids, and you think that that's real life because that's the only thing you see in your feed. In addition, um, most of our friends and stuff will post things that are relatively interesting um, to them. So we'll mostly see vacation pics or like high achievements and stuff like that. Um, I I've never posted a picture of me being lazy watching Netflix before, just because you don't want people to see that. But because of that, we don't really know what reality actually looks like. So then you're going to go a little bit more crazy because of that. And it stresses you out because you think that you're not living up to like what everyone else is living up to.
Yeah, and it's weird that that gets you falling right back into the trap because that gets you feeling kind of depressed and you want to feel better again. So what do? You get back on social media, or it leads us an entryway or a gateway to other negative habits, like whatever you do when you get depressed, if you binge eat, or if you just sleep, or if you don't feel like doing anything, eh, or maybe you just get back more on social media and keep going at it.
Hmm.
And it's tough, especially I know when we were growing up, this was just getting started when we were in middle school and a lot of those adolescent years. That's when Facebook was really becoming big. That was the first thing. But even back then, I remember it wasn't a thing where people were on Facebook or something all the time. A lot of times it was access on your computer, not on your phone. It wasn't as easily accessible on your phone as it is today. Also, there wasn't a lot of spam or anything on it. But then around high school, you saw other things like Snapchat and Instagram growing in popularity. And I think that's when this huge issue, you can access it wherever you go on your phone. And I saw a lot more people getting a lot more into it. But now, like my sister, the moment she gets a phone in a couple of years, she's going to have access to all of that. And she's going to be growing up with that from like a more almost like a pre-pubic age, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. Sorry, stream just exploded. But it's back. It's back. But yeah, I agree.
Okay.
It definitely was Jesus, internet sucks. But yeah, I think there was a time where like Facebook was cool because you weren't on there 24/7. I remember getting it. I think I was I think I was in sixth grade when I got Facebook. I lied about my
Me
age
too.
and shit like that.
Yeah.
But it was cool because
Yeah.
you could keep up with fam. You could post. I remember I made little stop motion videos, so I'd post it there on stuff like that. And then I'd say that was the golden age of like chill internet. And then things got crazy. It was just like even Snapchat in the beginning wasn't that bad. And then
Well, Snapchat in the beginning was just for nudes.
I mean I got it in the beginning, and I was a young child, so I don't know what the fuck.
Uh,
But
I mean, even
yeah,
before that, even before
I
it
guess,
broke
yeah.
into the child population, yeah.
But eventually, yeah, started posting on Instagram around probably sophomore year of high school or freshman year.
Mm.
And then all this fake shit started coming out. It was just a lot of just vacationing and all that fake shit. So now we can look back. It's kind of cool. We can look back on how that did negatively affect a lot of us. Um, if anything, I think that might be one of the biggest sources of I call this the age of anxiety, um, the age we're living in, which is it's just a lot of anxiety and stuff like that.
A lot of people wondering if they are good enough.
Yeah. Of course, I've tried to push past that um, by doing vacations from social media from time to time. It's a little harder with Instagram now just because we have our account on it. So like I'm kind of forced to look. But yeah, um, it's good to just like take
Yeah.
a break. Like I'm probably
I've
gonna remove Tinder and shit like that in the next couple days.
I pretty much have a relationship with social media now where I'm still somewhat addicted to it, I'd say, but not because of the people, because I like unfollowed a lot of them unless I know them. No, that's not true. Unfollowed like half of them unless I know them. But the only pages I really see posts from now are meme pages because I follow like 100 of them.
I
So I'm just
know.
addicted to the memes right now, dude. And
Kosh
especially I
sends
have
me
this little
lots.
group chat where a bunch of group chats where we send each other memes, man, and they keep me coming back so often. And then whenever I click on a notification, I know I'm going to sit there for the next 10 minutes just scrolling through memes mindlessly. Half of these memes are shit, dude. They're not even funny. They're so bland, but I still keep scrolling through them.
I don't know. Some of those are so fucking funny though. I've
Some of
followed a
those are
few.
there's gold in there.
I've followed a few because Akash sends me his memes, but I can't see them, so I have to follow them, and then I don't unfollow. So now I just have memes. It's like residual
Welcome.
memes. I think
You are
that's
welcome.
it. That's kind of interesting. I think that's a tactic they do. So if they were public, you could go in and you just see it and then not follow them. But by making it private, it forces you to follow them because they know you're going to share memes with your friends.
It's kind of a tactic. A lot of people do it because a lot of memes are pretty edgy or R-rated, so Instagram
That's
might
also
block
true.
them.
Oh, okay,
So
that's true.
that's why the whole trend started. Uh, people actually seem to like non-private meme pages better.
They like them better.
Yeah,
Okay, interesting.
because they don't feel obligated to follow them.
We're a meme
And
page
they,
now.
dude, we are with that blobfish post.
Yeah.
What? That's funny too, though. We saw like the birth of memes back in the day with those troll faces, rage comic memes with
Oof.
Forever Alone.
Oof. I remember that. Yeah. It was
The dude spitting out the cereal.
it was a dark time.
Nah, dude,
iFunny. Did you use iFunny back then?
yeah,
I
yeah,
use iFunny.
the original source for memes, man.
Dude,
I funny was good.
I would love to fucking go back to 2012. It was
Oh,
like
the golden era.
it was a golden era of being on the internet.
The
Now
only
it's
issue
like
back then was possibly
spam.
dying on December 21st.
Oh, facts, yeah.
That was the only issue. Everything else was chill.
Everything was chill. There's the birth of I feel like Minecraft really helped with the internet. Um Now it's you see I like present day, but also like the internet seems a bit excessive. Like there's too much info now that I don't need. It feels like spam, but you got to navigate. The worst is TikTok. Oh my god, I hate TikTok. It's they know exactly what's going to keep you on the app with their algorithm, and like no other no other like media has done that. Like they'll recommend things, like Facebook might recommend things,
Hmm.
but like this is like a feed from everyone, so they just know it's not good. In addition, they can if you post something, they will make sure you get views and at least some likes. Um, so you will get some stuff from
Really?
them, yeah. So
So they make sure you get that dope hit.
yeah, which is why I know Gary Vee really pushes for it, and he's like, look at this, you should take advantage of this now and stuff like that. But I think it's just fake. Um, in some ways it's good because it helps you get to an audience quicker. Um, but I am really sus about it just because it
I mean,
it was
another thing
hard to
is
delete.
really,
Hmm.
that's an interesting
It's
metric.
addicting. They show you attractive women and
Well, I
like
mean, they all do that. That's how it gets started. That's how the addictions
they
get
know they
started.
know what women you're attracted to though, and then they send you fucking I don't know them like building stuff, and you're like, oh, it's so cool, and then yeah, you're stuck.
I want to see how it evolves, though. What other type of content's gonna get on TikTok?
There's a whole like argument that China's stealing your data, but like every company does that. I'm pretty sure, quote unquote,
Yeah.
steals. What the fuck? Wait, so what do they mean by your data? Is that like what posts you've
Um,
clicked, what you've posted?
Pretty much all of that, any information you put on it, any posts you put on it. Also, um, well, this happens when you're surfing the internet in general. Whatever you're doing on the internet, all of that's public data, and someone has it. Any website you look up, any like I look up a shoe once and I get 50 million ads for shoes similar to it instantly. People know they're watching you.
I looked up what's the penalty for having pirated software? Am I gonna go to jail? No, just kidding.
Oh
No,
man,
usually you're fine if you like have some unlicensed copy. Nothing bad's really gonna happen unless you're selling it
those are
or
selling.
doing sketch shit.
You know what I've noticed recently? YouTube, Instagram, everything, especially when looking for content growth strategies for Instagrams and things like that. There's just so much information out there, and it's too much information at this point.
Hmm.
Where I'm actually more inclined to pay for the information if I know I'm going to get good quality information. Free has just become a pain.
Yeah, um, I agree. It's it feels like you're doing stuff. Like if you're starting a business, it feels like you're doing something when you start looking at all these blogs and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you're just procrastinating. So it's like it's unhelpful, some of it.
I mean, I don't know if I necessarily call it if you're just procrastinating. You are trying to get information. Maybe some people might be procrastinating, but you are trying to get information from there. But the issue
Quality.
is when you start a business and you look up all these strategies, you become the product of these other people's businesses. Because that's what this whole content stuff that we're getting into, the deeper and deeper I dive into it and I look at it, scarier it gets, man. Like a lot of people, they're just putting out stuff to grind. It's all about the grind, so you can't expect quality anymore. I remember back when, again, the internet was becoming big. It was cool. Any info you wanted, you can look up really quickly. And still, a lot of hard facts and things like that. It stays the same way. But tutorials and everything, it's just everyone's out there trying to make it big, so you don't know who to pick. And it seems like every other person, whether they're decent or not, has 100,000 subscribers. So even you can't even go based on that metric anymore.
Hmm. I agree. And do you notice a lot of the fake fake shit? So like people have this anxiety that they're not good enough, so they're like, "Oh, if I was rich, that would solve my problem." So then you pretend to be rich on social media and then you sell information that says how you got rich, but you
All the
didn't
social
actually get
media
rich.
gurus.
Yeah, but you didn't actually get rich, and everything you're saying is just spam at that point. That's an
So many
issue.
posers. So
Um,
many posers.
we're trying not to do that. That's our whole like. I guess that's our whole like core value. I guess is authenticity. Um, we're not doing things to spam.
Yeah, speaking of authenticity, ever since starting the podcast, I've been so motivated that I made so much money and I have a Lamborghini waiting for me in my garage right now.
Bro, I lost money doing this. To be honest, lost $10. Whole fucking $10.
We gotta stop. We don't know how far we can go with this for losing $10. It's too much.
I mean,
Too much business expenses.
when we did start this whole journey, like if we go back a year to like doing our startup, actually no, would it be 2 years? Yeah, it'd be like 2 years almost.
A year
Shit,
and a half.
year and a half. Okay,
It's a September 2018.
yeah, yeah. I think
Wow,
if we
2018.
if we go back, we were in some ways chasing the golden duck. I just made
We were
that up.
cloud chasers.
Yeah, I just made up chasing the golden duck. That's a unique thing
Jesus.
you'll get only here. But yeah, it feels good to be special, especially when you have your school's media calling you for some juicy quotes. That's a legit quote
Yeah,
that happened to us.
it's a very small taste of fame because we became very well known throughout the entrepreneurship society at UConn and
Hmm.
like the business society. Like a lot of people have heard of us before we even introduced ourselves to them. And, that was slightly intoxicating. Not gonna lie.
It still happens. Like sometimes someone's like, "Oh, are you Zach?" And I'm like, "Yeah, who are you?" Or
A little
someone.
inkling, a droplet of fame.
I was in a Discord the other day, and someone joined, and they're like, "Oh, who are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm Zach Zambudo," and they were like, "Oh, I was a tester for Follow," and I was like, "Oh, hello. That feels good, but I got to be careful.
Yeah.
You don't want it to go to your head.
All
It's a
right.
slippery slope.
Let's take it back to social media. Do you think it's gonna stay this way, or do you think we're gonna find better solutions? Because the way I see it, the way things have been going, I feel like the problem's just gonna keep getting worse and worse. More people going for free, more people trying for content, until the market realizes that what is wrong with this is a bunch of bullshit, and maybe they move on to a new app that starts out good, and then the same bullshit happens again.
Good question. Um, well, I think the reason why, Facebook was cool in the beginning was because it was for people. Same with YouTube. It was for people. Like the content was by people, not like the website, but the content was by people.
Yeah, not by businesses or anything. It was by family and
Yeah.
friends, and that's what I liked about it. I connected with people in India I hadn't talked to in 10 years because of Facebook.
And those spam videos that looked fake as shit just to get clickbait, people knew. Like there was like you knew it was clickbait and you just be like, this is clickbait, this is bullshit. You'd be like, oh, this one's authentic. I remember people had shitty mics and stuff like that. But I think, I don't know if we'll have another social media platform. Um, like
Well, we
TikTok's
just got
here.
TikTok not too long ago.
TikTok's here, but it already is fake. Um, So maybe my hypothesis that in the beginning it's not fake, but we know that you and I know it's already fake.
All right, let's define fake. What do you mean by fake?
Not you, not yourself. Like what you put out there is something you made up to. It's not you.
Aren't we making stuff up right now? Like it
Kinda.
is us, but
It's
we're still
us.
creating. Isn't that what creating is?
I mean,
Because
you create.
movies are fake.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be fake.
Yeah, maybe TikTok, maybe this stuff is supposed to be fake.
Shit.
Because TikTok,
I'm lost.
all these people doing all these weird dances and things on it. And I mean, we don't get it. We think that's fake. Maybe that's real to them.
Maybe it is.
Yeah, maybe they're like really, they genuinely enjoy doing it because a lot of people are famous. Like the cute chick is famous, like Charlie D'Amelio or something. She's been a dancer for since like she was 3, and now she's finding fame on TikTok because of her dances.
what about the wannabes?
Yeah, I mean, they're always going to be there. They're trying to get better. But in a way, wannabes, I don't think they're going to last too long. There's always going to be wannabes who drop in and out, but the only wannabes who are going to succeed are those who actually put time into it
That's true.
and they succeed. But then yeah, but I still do see with TikTok though, there's all these houses now like
Hmm.
Swag House or Sway House or
Yeah, that's what I'm
shit
trying
like
to
that.
trying to get
Like a
at.
bunch of little kids living together and there's all this drama surrounding it. I get all these Snapchat story things about it.
No, I get what you're saying. So I guess my definition of fake, it's my Apple Pencil. But my definition of fake is like, so you obviously will have the professionals like Charlie DeMeo who are really good at what they do. And you have other people that show up to to TikTok who are already very very talented, and then you have people who create a fake reality to try and get people to watch them. So like the people who would rent a Lamborghini or people who would try to create some fake situation. Um,
Okay.
so that's
I see. Instead of being
yeah,
okay, so it's not like instead of being honest about that they're just creating, they're being fake, they're gonna pretend that it's real.
yeah. So like a lot of the
And
Instagram gurus out there who claim to
gotcha.
do shit. Yeah,
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think any app is inherently fake. So I wouldn't believe that about TikTok. I think it might just be something that maybe we don't particularly enjoy and we don't quite get. Because I honestly don't get all these dances and stuff. What I do get is the memes people are making on it. They're using that as a new meme format, and I see that coming in on Instagram. I'm like, that's very interesting. And there's people doing like funny skits on it. That's that's always been good. Like, remember Vine? I never really got into it, but
Vine
there
was
was some
good.
funny stuff on there.
Vine was
Yeah,
funny.
so people are kind of using TikTok for that too. And we're gonna see more content on there. So I don't know if we could just straight up disqualify it as fake.
I guess I gotta get a better definition of fake. I don't know. I just have this like fake R or fake radar. I just
Fake art.
I just look at it. I'm like, that's fake. But there are some TikToks where I see it. I'm like, that's funny. Like he made that. Like it's a legit skit by him or her. Um, yeah.
There's this dude at UConn, my roommate Kevin was showing me, who's apparently TikTok famous. His name's Joshy. He just pulls all these pranks around campus and does dumb shit. And a lot of his stuff was really funny. Uh, but yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe there will be new social media, which is only
Authentic.
about, yeah, and authentic and about what Facebook once was, which was connecting with people genuinely. But then people are going to find out. I think the only way you can get that is if you block marketers out of it, and people are going to find a way to market on it.
I
If
don't.
you can market on something and make money off of it, I think that's inherently going to start deteriorating the quality of the platform.
Well, I think if there's a demand for authenticity, um, marketers will move towards that, or companies will move towards that. It's like there's a demand for being fake as shit, I guess. Um, okay, so here's the thing. I'll put an umbrella. All of social media is fake. Even what we're doing is technically fake. This is not reality. Um, no one knows what you and I do after we click stop recording. Um, you could try to present yourself in a way that, as you and I know from YouTube, you can try to present yourself in a way that is authentic. People that know you will be able to see the bullshit. They'll be like, dude, you're being fake. You don't act the same way you do. People have come to me and on my YouTube stuff and said, you do not act the same way as you do in real life. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. Um, so yeah, like real life doesn't look like this. We don't have a bar in real life. We're just trying to offer a little window. We're trying to be as authentic as possible to try to offer a window into what we are like, to try to have almost a reality show. Um, but you can fake a reality show too. So it's tricky to try to be authentic because we're trying to be authentic. So it's like sometimes when you try to be authentic, you aren't authentic.
Mm.
So like take for instance our show we did on Friday. We were trying too hard to replicate our first show, and we ended up being fake. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
it's tricky. It's a complicated subject.
for sure. How do you think this is affecting the younger population who's getting into this?
Oh, it'll fuck them up like it fucked us up. They're gonna think this is reality. Um, it might be worse because they were born into it. We at least had a buffer before we got
We
slapped
remember
into
the
it.
time before it, but I guess that's not stopping anyone because there's many 30, 40-year olds who are just as into it as we are.
Yeah, I mean, even
And
like
even,
even our parents who didn't have it will get sucked in. So I guess,
yeah,
yeah, it's tricky.
dude, my parents recently, since quarantine started mentioning memes, and I'm like, I didn't even know you guys knew that word. It surprised me.
This is hard. I'm trying to take notes, but then I forget because I've been to the conversation.
I just make a quick jot now and then, like a
20,
little timestamp.
25 question mark. What is fake? Question mark. It's like
Oh
so hard.
man, I have that mark for 24.
Shit.
Oh wait, but for me it's 24 plus 230, I guess. So 2630.
We'll figure
I
something
don't
out.
know.
We'll
Yeah,
outsource one day.
we'll see.
Um,
We'll see.
yeah.
Oh, let's see. Oh, Dan's gone. I'm gonna beat him up.
Yeah, I know. Fuck you, Dan.
JK, JK.
That was our little. That was our commercial break. Now a word from our sponsors. We don't have any.
You think having an ability to do sponsors and ads inherently inhibits authenticity?
Sometimes. I know there's a lot of these men's like fashion people who go out and they say, "This is why I use this product." Um, do they actually use the product? Is the question.
Hmm.
So that is technically fake. But see now this is like an ethics now. We're talking about ethics of social media. So is it considered fake to say that, or is it not? It is fake because they don't actually use it. I know for a fact they don't use it because they're promoting Dollar Shave Club fucking a couple weeks before that, and then all of a sudden they come out with a new razor and they're like, "I've been using this for years." No, you haven't. Don't bullshit. Um, I don't think
They
having
are they are
sponsors
they
is
are
fake.
open. They do say it's a sponsor, but I think that's more because they might be forced to say
Yeah.
they're sponsored by these people.
So if
Um,
Audible came our way and I said something
mm,
like, "Oh, I love listening. I don't like reading books. I like listening to Audible all the time. I listen to it in the car." That's fake because I've listened to it like once when I was driving to Yukon during the summer.
I listen to Audible. That's my
So you
primary
can
form of
promote it.
reading. I can promote Audible.
I don't think having sponsors or commercials in your video makes you fake.
I'm not even talking about fake right here. I'm talking about. Do you think if I, I guess I'm more talking about attention. You know, ads come because people have attention and people want to generate attention because they can get sponsored and make money from it. I'm saying is what if there's a social media platform where you have to, I guess, pay to be on it. So ads aren't a thing directly on the platform. So no YouTube monetization or something like that. And also towards sponsorships, they crack down on you if you do promote sponsorships or things like that. It's just strictly for family and friends connecting. Do you think something like that would work? Because I don't think it would. Because I don't think anyone would pay for something on social media like that.
Well, I don't think that it's. I think people our age won't pay for it, and that's a big driver.
I don't know. I don't think my parents would pay for it. They're gonna think it's bullshit. It'll be like, why would I pay for this? And I guess we already kind of have something like that. It's called phone numbers and texting people.
I mean, it's also. Tim Ferriss would say this is irreversible. We've been accustomed to social media being free. Like, we've never had a social media that costs anything. Like where we can produce our own content freely. But
Oh,
to get consume content, you can pay. So like Netflix, um, Xbox Live, YouTube Premium if you're into that shit, but no one is.
what if we could find a way to pay for being authentic? Because people wouldn't be fake if it didn't work. Because so clearly it works.
Wait, what was that? People are fake
People are fake because it works. They get attention for
awards.
being fake.
True.
They wouldn't be fake if being fake didn't work. They're gotten really good at generating attention. It's almost a skill.
Being fake. Being an actor.
Yeah, I guess they are technically actors.
They're actors.
Now the question is, are they
Ah,
being honest about being that, or are they lying and saying it's real life? That's what
see
that's the
that's
difference between good fake and bad fake.
so
Because there's good.
imagine we have an actor like Daniel Radcliffe and we all know he's Daniel Radcliffe and that he's acting. And then he goes out and says,
Harry Potter.
"I'm Harry Potter." Wouldn't you think he's a crazy motherfucker? if he just thinks he's Harry Potter, like he thinks he is the
How,
character.
yeah,
Like
yeah. You
he
think he
no longer
lost it?
he no longer thinks, or in his mind or outward, he no longer is Daniel Radcliffe. He is Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what that we can compare it to now. Fuck, this is getting
Imagine though, he's like,
philosophical.
I just came back from Hogwarts.
Yeah.
He makes like he goes deep into it, edits videos to make it look like he goes to Hogwarts and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. See, now we're getting somewhere.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mhm. Oh man.
We need to clean the internet. We need to drain the swamp.
You know, another parallel to this is what I notice is with subscription services, such as well, subscription in general, but let's just take streaming for now, right? In the beginning, there was just Netflix, just awesome, really cool. There was one place to get your thing, and you could watch a bunch of movies on there whenever you wanted. It was great. And then one like Hulu and stuff like that started coming out. Okay, there's like three platforms. You can still pick one. And now people are starting to pull deals from them, and it's starting to become Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, DC Universe. Every TV channel is starting to get their own subscription thing. It's not a way to escape TV anymore. It's becoming the new TV, except instead of buying an entire TV package, you can buy whichever streaming services you want. So you get, I guess, you get more control over what channels you get, and it's still on demand. But otherwise, you're not. A lot of people are doing it since you saved money. You're not saving money anymore. It's becoming so dispersed, and there's a lot of shit and a lot of good shows on everything. So you don't know which one to pick. I think the internet's the same way, where in the beginning it was really cool. A lot of information you needed was right there. And now there's just so much information. And it's not just before, there was a lot of shit information too, but it was shit. You could tell it was shit. But now it's a lot of shit posing as real information. So you got to decipher through that. Not decipher, you got to, what's the word I'm looking for? Search through that.
Yeah, sift.
Sift. That's the word I was looking for.
The right
Sift.
word. I sifted through the dense jungle called the internet.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, this
What
is
if
a
there's
hard
a new
problem.
internet where there's a new internet where you have to pay for it, but it's only real stuff on there? I'd pay for that.
How much?
You know, say somehow magically they can guarantee only the realest shit is on there, only the top quality content. I'd pay like 100 a month for it.
Would we be on there?
I don't know.
That's a deep
We're,
question there.
because we're real, but are we quality? I wouldn't say we're quality quite yet. We're getting there slowly. One day we will be on there.
Yeah.
Because
I'd
if you
like
think
to
about,
think we're real on this a little bit. A little
yeah,
bit.
I
We've
I
had our
don't
fake moments.
I pretty much I feel almost as if I'm just talking to you. So
Yeah.
it's like since because of the conversation, it's real. Since it's probably how we would talk if there was no camera right here.
Yeah, that's why that's the brand. Authentatious. That's a word, right?
Who are you when no one is watching you?
I guess you got to know like if you're being fake or not. I think we have a fake radar that you and I have developed over time now though. Just by being fuck ups in the past. That we could be like,
Mm,
okay, I was being fake. Like it's a feeling.
yeah,
Like that show
and
last
we're
week, I felt it.
we're probably being a little fake now without realizing it too. Maybe or maybe not. We'll realize that in the future, and we'll correct, we'll calibrate, keep going. All right, taking it back to social media. Do you think social media is strengthening or damaging real life connections? in real life social interactions and even social skills.
See, on one hand, you could look up on social media how to strengthen your connections. You get that information. I think it's a double-edged sword. Is that what that means? I think in some ways it has damaged the way we look at the world and interact with our friends and stuff like that. But on the other
Hmm.
hand, it has strengthened it because um, if I didn't have social media, the article I wrote on Friday, I wouldn't be able to send it to my friends quickly so they could get a little glimpse into what I'm thinking. Um, I would probably have to print it and send it out to people. So I think in that sense, if we used the internet for what it's for, which is exchanging ideas and not exchanging attention, um, that it would be a very good thing. But now a lot of us interact like there's a dating mode where you can you can DM, you can you can you can friend people on Facebook. I know some people who have met people online first. Like I've met people online first. There's actually people I've never met in real life who I've met online. Um, I think in some
Yeah,
ways it's not that bad because I've been able to develop a cool connection with them. Because you can talk to them too online. So I think if you use it correctly, but then like your skills, your social skills kind of diminish a bit because then you go talk to someone in real life and it's a little scary because you don't do that as much. Um, like I'm much more
yeah,
comfortable talking to someone online than I am in real life. Surprisingly, it's like it's easier.
it's easier and people are less afraid online. Because I remember when before college started, there were all these group me's and people making college group chats in real life, but online they were all like flexing, like starting little diss wars with other people, talking like they're the shit, and then you see them in real life and they're like pretty quiet. Some of them are quiet. Some people are the same. I'm like, huh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I agree. Um, another thing too, I think right now it's good because we're able to still connect with each other. Um,
Mm.
imagine that this happened and we had no Discord, we had no Minecraft, we had no Zach and Akash show. You have to like write letters to each other to stay in touch during a pandemic. I think that would be very damaging. But we've proved right now that society can continue moving on and continue moving forward. Not all of it. Some things are shut down, but we can continue to move on. And I think that's very powerful. So when you make things free, there's shit everywhere. But you got to be able to navigate the shit.
Maybe that's a true skill, learning how to navigate through shit.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. No, I think I agree. Yeah, like be able to an ounce of self awareness and what's it called? The fucking ability to look at stuff and be like, okay, is this real? Is this not real?
Okay, getting close to end. Final thoughts on social media.
It's good and bad. It's a double edged sword.
Yeah, I agree. Like most things, most new technology, there's good in it, there's bad in it.
It's
We just
also
gotta try to maximize the good, I guess, and try to ignore the bad or find our own solutions for it.
it's also out of our control for what goes in. The only thing that's in
Yeah.
your control is what you post. So think before you infect the internet with your filth, I guess.
Yeah. Oh man, that was good. I think that became more of a talk about the internet in general over social media, but that was good. We covered a lot of everything.
Our show's evolving. It's like a form of discussing newer ideas.
Okay, right before we go into the business dev, couple quick updates. If you're on an Android device listening to us on Spotify, we are now officially on Google
An
Podcast.
arsenal of content. We have a system. Um, we're still making it more efficient. So currently, we go on the podcast and then we record it. We have a clip. We have to go through the clip and extract things that we think are interesting, and then with that information, we put it in a spreadsheet, and Akash has a program that will create all of the content for us, and then we manually post it on Instagram. Um, so we tested something today, which was taking notes. I think part of it is just right now we kind of just suck at taking notes on real time shit going on, but I think we'll test it out for like a little bit and see if it improves our process. Because right now you kind of got to go through. I don't know what's going to be at what point in the discussion, so you kind of got to go through the whole thing to know. But now we have some labels, so that might um, make it a little bit more efficient and faster to just get those
Yeah,
clips.
instead of taking like 30 minutes to go through a video, maybe we could do it in like 10, 15 minutes now.
Yeah, because I was sitting in
Oh,
bed doing it, and I was like, "Fuck." So yeah, maybe one day we'll outsource a note taker, but obviously we have
yeah,
the money.
one day we can get an intern to do this for us.
Yeah, and we're trying to figure out what the fuck this show is right now. It literally is just we don't know what it is.
It's anything and everything, which I was doing some research yesterday that could be dangerous, maybe not dangerous. I don't know. Um, but yeah, that's what we're trying to work on right now, automating everything as much as we can. Ah, figuring out how to generate an audience, how to build one, how to keep in touch with them, how to provide real value, uh, and finding our super fans, finding people who show up to everything, who engage with us.
See, I feel like we have a niche right now, but we don't know what it is because it's like evolving over time. We always go down these roads where we talk about like new shit that we kind of just like debate. Is this a debating podcast? I don't know. We always agree on the same shit, so there's not much like we barely disagree on a lot of things. So
Yeah, I think
it's
this
hard
was
to
the
be a
first
debate.
time we disagreed about like the definition of fake,
I guess, yeah.
but that was about it.
Maybe we do agree. It's just there's a miscommunication. Who knows?
Yeah, it's one thing I didn't notice is we talk about go back to talking about social media, business, and entrepreneurship a lot. That's kind of like our
Our theme.
little, yeah, our theme. That's the thing we always lean back on, and everything we
Authenticity.
say kind of relate authenticity for sure. Um, a little bit of tech here and there. We go a little bit into tech, not too much though. Uh,
See, we don't have this is the problem. We don't have a storefront. So it's like there's no packaged up this is Zach and Akash. It's like you have to dive
yeah,
in and you have to like listen through the podcasts, almost all of them to really figure out what the fuck we're doing and who we are. Obviously, you and I know who we are and stuff like that,
right.
but
Well,
there's no store
we need a
and there's the internet is
cover for it. We
shit.
need a package and a label telling you what you're going to get,
My
who we are,
course,
and what you can expect.
my 30-day course
30-day
on
course.
how to be a man. So stupid. Yeah, I guess that's our updates. So we're gonna keep updating.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's been fun as always. Again, the Zach and Akash show on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube. Well, it's Zach Zambudo on YouTube, but you can just look up the Zach and Akash show and you'll find it. We will see you again tomorrow.
Yep. Bye everybody.